Alright, seems we're live. And pineapple and pizza, first of all, yeah, it's an bomb. I mean, it tastes really, really bad. That's first. Second of all, I don't know, it's just fucking weird. Like, you know, it's like the texture and shit, it doesn't belong. It's really weird. Aw, ads? What the fuck? Come on. Don't you guys have ad block? I've never seen ads on Twitch ever. So I don't understand like what kind of don't mind Palma. That's weird. Or what kind are you using? Maybe you got it whitelisted for some reason? I don't know. I've never ever seen ads on Twitch, so I'm not sure how to help. Oh, Mario! Wow, you're here early. That's great. Gurren Lagann is on before Steel Samurai, so he cut it. You know what? Headcanon accepted, Mario. Totally. That totally works out for me. So, here we go, guys. So, welcome aboard to another episode of Ace Attorney Investigations 2. If you remember last stream, since it's been a couple of days, last stream, we were in the middle, we started and we are now in the middle of the PIC hearing to see if Edgeworth is worthy of being a prosecutor and to see if there's a need to, you know, charge him with any criminal, I don't know, charge him with anything basically because of what he did, you know, conducting an investigation on his own and all that. So where we stopped right at the end of last stream was when we had, first of all, we found out, if you guys remember, we found out that the person in this photo, who we thought was the killer, going out after he killed someone because of the blood on the hand here, it's actually the victim. That's the victim with blood on her hand. Before she got stabbed, she actually got hit on the head. We thought it was post-mortem, but apparently not. We're waiting for the coroner to come by. So apparently she's bleeding from her head too. So she got hit on the head first. She has blood on her left hand, like we saw in the photo. And later, only later, she got stabbed by the candelabra. So what we did, the last thing we did was prove that the murderer had to have been the conductor, since we also know that the conductor was one of them, and that the auction kept going after the murder. So the only person who could have done that was, like, the only way for that to be is if the conductor was the killer. And we also mentioned, well, there were a bunch of hoops to jump through. But the last thing we did was prove that it was also around here, that was in the storeroom, since there's a large pool of blood right beneath that, and also some blood in the storeroom as well. What would you call the Flintstones if they were black? Why not Flintstones? Why doesn't that apply anymore? Or does that have to do with what Maury posted? Anyway, let's just get going.
The culprit purposely left a large amount of blood in the meeting room. In doing so, we were led to believe the meeting room had been the scene of the crime.
Meeting room where we're standing, that is. Oh, it's a meme? Oh. I failed the spirit of bats then. Didn't recognize the meme, my bad.
It was a ruse by the true culprit to hide the blood that had fallen from the storeroom.
So, we wouldn't find out about the existence of the black market auction, correct?
Indeed. If the culprit had been unrelated to the auction, there would have been no need to do such a thing. Ergo, the culprit could have only been the conductor.
Well then, do you have any idea as to who the conductor might possibly be?
The auction hall is at the PIC meeting room, and therefore, furthermore, there's a storeroom above it. The conductor must have been, at the very least, a member of the PIC.
So, In other words, you suspect me, I take it.
Isn't it natural to suspect you? The one with the most authority in the PIC.
He's, of course, Blaze the Best is, of course, the chairman of the PIC.
Objection! You are quite capable. I'll give you that much, at least. But you know, like I said before, you're far too naive. You have nothing, you know. There's no evidence that proves I am the culprit, you see.
Blaze.
If, by some chance, you do have evidence, then why don't you present it?
Do I have evidence that Blaze is the culprit?
Shit, I don't know. I usually always say, like, yeah, go for it, but I don't think I got anything, like, direct. I don't think I do. Like, looking at this, I don't know. Well, there's the mask. There's the problem is, I don't know. Like, I was thinking maybe fingerprints on the mask, but how do we prove that? Fingerprints anywhere? I do not know. I don't think so. That's maybe the conductor's clothes. White jacket with purple flower, white gloves, and a mask. Agent Ginger. Well, so yeah, that's a problem. I'm gonna say I don't have it, and I'm gonna save state just in case. But worst case, I think like nothing. I think he's just gonna tell me, yeah, I actually do.
Blaze himself has suggested that he is the criminal. He's been showing that strange self-confidence for a while now. He knows that there is not a single piece of evidence left behind to incriminate him.
If you play with fire, you're gonna get burned, Edgeworth. Just kidding. I always wanted to say that, you know.
Isn't that? Didn't he? I think he already told us that once or something. That sounds familiar.
Well then, Courtney.
Hold it! I reckon I just remembered something too.
What? You also lost your memories?
Nah, that ain't it. Something just popped in my head right now.
Very well. Please tell us.
Objection! Courtney, could you tell me what you are doing?
Prosecutor Edgeworth will not give up until we have destroyed every last possibility.
Also, we have the strange suspicion that Courtney is on our side somehow on this. I'm not sure if it's like a power grab and she wants to take down Blaze so she can be the chairman of the PIC maybe, or something like that. Or maybe she's actually good inside. Or maybe she just wants to be rid of her, you know, tailing the best junior around all the time. And that's why she's trying to get rid of him. So we're not sure why, but she's like in a very sly and inconspicuous way, she's like little by little trying to help us, we think.
I'm destroying every possibility so that he will never oppose us again.
Justine, I don't really know what's going on, but well said. Pops, I'm gonna help too. After all, he's the one who's wrong.
Fine then. Let's hear what she has to say.
Smash. Well then, Miss Hart, please proceed.
Sure thing. Just leave it to me.
Please make sure you only tell the truth.
Ain't that a matter, of course. I'm a bona fide journalist of justice, you know.
Somehow, I feel uneasy.
Y'all say the culprit was the conductor, right? That means the victim was a customer. Now, here's where it gets a mite strange. You see, there were 11 people at the auction. The auction continued after the incident. I went straight on over and snuck a peek down below.
You don't mean...
That's exactly what I mean. All 11 people were still there, present and accounted for.
What?
Smash. Are you sure about that?
Sure, I'm sure. I saw it with my own 2 eyes.
So it started with 11 people, and there were still 11 people after the murder. Was it a ghost?
You know, Sebastian, normally a prosecutor would call that a contradiction, you know.
Were there really no changes in the auction at all?
Really, I'm telling you, the auction just went on like normal. But there was one itty bitty thing though.
What was it?
You know those hammers you always see at an auction? Like the one that lady is using over there?
An auction gavel. Perhaps.
Yep, that's the one. All of a sudden, I couldn't hear the sound no more. It'd been banging away just prior to it.
The sound of the gavel? Does that have anything to do with the case?
I think it does. Well, the secret auction. Oh, it's just updated.
Smash. If Miss Hart's testimony is the truth, then this matter has taken a grave turn. If the victim was neither the conductor nor a customer, the very foundation of Prosecutor Edgeworth's reasoning would collapse.
Justice prevails, as they say. I hope you've learned your lesson, Mr. Edgeworth.
Mr. Edgeworth, there really is nothing we can do.
It's not over yet. Some mysteries still remain. I have to think. If I don't, then Kay will be.
Did you get the answer you wanted this time? Well then, a deal's a deal.
Hold it! Who is that? I don't know.
Hold it. Please wait, Mr. Chairman. I believe it is still too early to make a judgment. There are still a few mysteries left in this case.
Yeah, see, this is her helping us right now.
Until we have solved them all, we cannot call this a complete victory. Isn't that right, Prosecutor Edgeworth? I was expecting you to shout. Hold it, like you always do.
Yes, of course.
Once again, Judge Courtney has come to my aid.
Well then, what is it? What sort of mysteries are left?
Well, of course, there's the contradiction in the autopsy report.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we're waiting for the coroner to come in right now and explain that.
That kind of thing.
I brought her in! I don't remember the second voice I gave her, but I remember the first. That's, I don't know, kind of works, I think. If it doesn't, I can switch it again. Just give me some direction.
What's wrong? Why were we suddenly called here? Did someone suddenly get sick? I'll begin preparing a compress. Stan. Ouch! What did you call me here for? Did something happen? Dr. Young, Miss Jensen, you have my gratitude for taking the trouble to come here. This won't take long, so please relax. Tell tell me what the in blazes is going on. Of course. We called you here because something came up.
Judge Courtney, just what are you planning?
Smash! Bonnie Young, under the divine rule of law, please answer truthfully. There were no mistakes in your autopsy report, correct? Granny would never make a mistake. That's certainly strange. Huh? What's strange? This court has found an error in Dr. Young's autopsy report. Dr. Young, please tell the truth. Did you falsify the autopsy report? That's terrible. How can you accuse her of that? I have no idea what you're talking about. Why would I do such a thing in the first place? To protect the true culprit, of course. What you talking about? I would never do such a thing. How strange. In that case, why would there be an error in the autopsy report, I wonder? Prosecutor Edgeworth, what do you think? Oh, I expected you to press into her statement like you normally do.
Why is she taking control of the situation and trying to help me? I don't know what her goal is, but I must play along. If the autopsy report he gave to Sebastian had been authentic, then the error should not have been there.
Wait a minute. I didn't do anything.
That is what we will figure out from this point on. Firstly, Dr. Young, I'd like to hear your testimony.
Why do you want to hear her testimony? It would be pointless.
I will be the one who decides whether or not it is pointless, not you.
There are patients waiting for us. But Granny, ouch! Anyway, we don't have time for this.
Is there any way I could convince you? This is of the utmost importance.
Mr. Miles Edgeworth, Granny says she'll testify. So please, try to finish this quickly.
Oh yeah, totally. I really like her, a Granny.
If we don't return soon, there will be people in terrible suffering.
And yet, you were lollygagging about the viewing platform, on the viewing platform earlier. I promise you, this won't take long. Only if she tells me the truth, of course.
Okay, so let's go over this. Error in the autopsy report.
There are no mistakes in Granny's autopsy report. I've been working with corpses longer than you've been alive. There's no way I make a mistake in writing the autopsy report. Ouch! I got none to gain from falsifying the autopsy report. Is what she says. See? There's nothing strange at all.
Yes, that's right, you know. There's no way she would falsify it, you see.
Under the name of the goddess of law, do you swear that this testimony is the truth?
Haven't followed this. Oh yeah, you're right. Well, we'll see it soon anyway. But even like if anything seems, I don't know, suspicious, she might even contradict herself in her own statement. But yeah. There's nothing. Yeah, I was thinking too. I don't have. Well, we're pretty sure that Blaze. Well, actually, we know he confessed to us that Blaze is the culprit. He's actually the murderer. He's 68. And we don't know of any connection between Bonnie and him, like anything he would do to, I don't know. Wait, he's older than her? He's 68 and she's just 60? I would have never guessed that. What the hell? Die Young Hospital, acting as the coroner in this case. Well, that's surprising, but it still doesn't, I don't know, show us a connection of any sort. Unless Blaze has some sort of like anti-aging cream that she wants. Other than that, I got no clue. Objection! We were asking Dr. Young. We do not need to hear from a third party. Or maybe it's something that's getting lost in translation between the two of them. But I don't know if we'll ever actually get to listen to the grandma.
I'm not a third party. I'm on Granny's side. If you raise an objection to my testimony, you'd best prepare yourself, you ex-prosecutor.
Will definitely expose the contradiction in the autopsy report. So, as I said, the error that we know of is that she wrote, I can see right here, that the head injury, that the head wound was post-mortem. But from our deduction, it seems that it could have only been pre-mortem, really. And it could be that she did die from the stabbing, but she was definitely hit on the head first. And with the gavel, that explains it, where the gavel went. The gavel was probably, I don't know, really bloody, or maybe it even broke on her head. I don't know how strong an auction gavel is. So, yeah. But we'll have to see. The nothing to gain angle is good, I agree. Oh shit! I'm almost out of health. I forgot about this. I better save right here too. I forgot I was having a lot of trouble with evidence last stream. Shit, I still haven't regained it. Okay, we're gonna have to be on our toes here, guys. Hold it!
So, you're saying there's no way Dr. Young could have made a mistake?
Of course. Doctors can't afford to make mistakes. This is a world where just one misdiagnosis can end a long career. I know that my granny, at least, would never. If I did something like that, you think they'd still let me run a hospital?
Longer than you've been alive.
Hold it! So in your long career, you've never once made a mistake?
A doctor's only as good as the length of their track record.
If we're just talking about a lengthy track record, that former chief prosecutor has one too. And yet, his actual abilities don't seem to measure up. I hope that you're not the same as well.
Ouch. That was a low blow, you know. But you know, Edgeworth, I don't make mistakes either, you see? Because you see, before I can make a mistake, those around me will have already made it instead. You see, I don't have time for mistakes. It's quite amazing, you know. It must be karma.
Is that a play on words? Something with Von Karma?
You can't compare a chief prosecutor with a doctor. You really can't.
Okay, there's no way I make a mistake in writing the autopsy report. Ouch.
Hold it! The victim wore this raincoat after suffering a blow to the head.
Oh yeah, that was our proof. That we can see in the photo that after, like, when her hand has blood on it, the doctors can't afford to make mistakes. The film, like, yeah, exactly. In a perfect world, maybe. So what proved it is that we can see in the photo that the victim with a bloodied hand is wearing the jacket. But if she was bleeding so much from, like, 3 stab wounds to the heart, there should be blood all over the fucking jacket. But instead, there's only blood on the hood part, on the inside. So that has to mean that she was hit on the head and was bleeding from there first.
And yet, there was not a single drop of blood on the front of the raincoat. Therefore, it is impossible for the hedge wound to have been post-mortem.
Well, that's... Ouch! I don't need you to tell me that. That's what I wrote down from the very beginning.
Oh, well, there we go.
Objection!
Here's a contradiction.
The autopsy report says the hedge wound was post-mortem. That's completely different.
Did someone change the report then?
Yeah. I relayed to Karen what to put down in the autopsy report.
Oh, really? Hey, Bats. How you doing, man? Hope you're having a good weekend. Had a patient opened up? How did it go, your first day? Wait, are you, did that song by Weird Al, did he write that on you? The entire torso right in front of you open. God, that's excellent. How you doing, man? Not hungover, I hope. So wait, Bats, did Weird Al write a song like a surgeon about you, really? Cunt for the very first time?
After that, it was none of my beeswax.
Not hungover. Good job, man. Good on ya.
Relate to Karen. Please elaborate on that.
Oh, there we go. It's 90% of the time, it's the added statement. That's the one we need to... That's the contradiction. It was okay, although he did make some weird noises and died shortly afterwards, even though his illness wasn't that serious to begin with. Well, obviously it got much worse, to the point where you couldn't have operated on him. I mean, that's the only explanation, right?
Hold it! I would like to verify, once again, what you saw when you examined the body.
Like we said, ouch! Well, about that. She was done in by a thumb to a noggin. Dr. Young, do you know when that happened?
Where are you getting those memes from, Gar? I've never seen them. They're really good, actually. Decided to stop being a doctor right after. Okay, fair enough, man. Yeah, I would probably do the same in your shoes.
Before she died, of course. The wounds in her chest were post-mortem.
Oh, well then. Yeah, apparently so.
That's when I relate to Karen. So that's what should have been written in the report.
That's what you relayed to her, eh? I'm finally beginning to see the truth.
Okay, so that seems like there's something about like her relaying the information that doesn't work out. So I don't know, maybe the contradiction is the autopsy report itself. That's what I'm thinking right now. Does the old lady have an Italo-American accent? Please tell me she does. Well, we don't actually hear her speak. It's her granddaughter, the younger nurse, that like speaks for her. She whispers in her ear, and then she tells us what she says. I could try and give them... What's that? Lord, fuck off. So yeah, so I could try and give her an Italian accent if you want. So yeah, I don't see... Let's keep going for now. And if nothing else pops up, I think I'm just gonna try that. If she ever speaks, make that a tradition. Okay, I could give her a Bane voice, or an Italo-American voice, whatever you prefer, man. Apparently mute characters, the Bane voice. Yeah, that could work.
Hold it! You may have nothing to gain, but how about your grandmother?
Me?
Oh, granddaughter. Italo-American vein, that's a good one. I can try that.
Me? There ain't anything I can gain. If Karen had something to gain, then that girl of yours might have something too.
How does Bane's voice sound?
You merely adopted the darkness. Capiche?
In Spanish? Oh, that's a good one. I'll listen to that later.
Ah, vaffanculo. Arrivederci.
Shit like that. Yeah, that could work. I could do that.
How dare you accuse my little Goyle? Was never done harm to anybody. Yeah, aren't you ashamed of yourself?
You should address those words to Blaze instead of me.
I swear that the autopsy report wasn't falsified.
Thank you, Backcountry. I've been working a lot on it in the mirror. I just sit by myself and do a Bane voice until I perfect it.
Hold it! Did you notice anything strange when you were performing the autopsy?
I wonder. Huh? What is it, Granny? A strange man came by.
Who are you calling strange?
He wore some really strange clothes. Even had a frilly thing around his neck.
Oh, that's us.
Even though it was about to get canned. He still tried to run amok during my autopsy. I'm talking about you, you frilly red brute. I see. So Mr. Edgeworth is a strange, frilly red brute.
Kay, please don't only remember odd things about me.
It doesn't look like Granny is lying.
Miss Jensen is the one who is relaying Dr. Young's words. I have to confirm whether or not Miss Jensen is telling us the truth.
Okay. I relayed everything to Karen. After that, it's none of my beeswax. Yeah, I got called out. Okay, so I'm gonna go over all the evidence again. We'll try to think if there's something that can, I don't know, interfere with the relaying of information. Otherwise, I think I just have to, like, present the autopsy report and show her that it says something else. And maybe that'll advance it. Okay, so there's the Yatagarasu badge. Made a mask. It has a voice modulator, but I still don't think that's that. Oh wow, Gar. That's lewd as fuck. Who's that behind him? Yeah, that's really lewd. So there's a Gem Ninja mask, a letter, a ticket stub, purple flower that was found on K also, a pamphlet, her memories, key code for entering the PIC room, candelabra, autopsy report, corner Bonnie Young. Key code recorded, record, victim's letter, conductor's, I don't think so, Lotta's testimony. What'd she say again? Was the testimony itself? I don't think that's relevant here. I mean, it's about the auction itself. I don't think that's relevant here. 11 people, each one unmasked. The auction continued even after Jill Queen's murder. However, the sound of the gavel was not heard afterwards. Let's go because the gavel is probably the murder weapon. There's the stuffed animal, which only recorded on the night of the auction, so I don't think that's relevant here either. There are masks that were worn by the participants. Lotta's photo. Blood on the hidden lift. Costume trunk. I don't have anything, I think, that proves that they're not telling the truth. So since I'm only at 1 HP and I don't want to restart from my last save, I'm gonna save state right here before I present this, and hopefully I won't need to load state. Alright, let's try this.
Objection! Dr. Young, please confirm what this autopsy report says with your own eyes.
I'll read it to you. Ouch!
Oh, she's sweating.
This autopsy report wasn't written by me.
What? What do you mean? Holy shit!
Wow. She's really giving it back. What's wrong with Karen now? Why is she sweating? What's going on here?
I don't know. But Granny, I can't say that. Smash. Miss Jensen, if you're trying to keep the truth in the dark, then...
Oh yeah, the feel when wanna. $5 Karen wrote it. I was thinking maybe, I don't know, like someone from the prosecution got hold of it and changed it or faked it or replaced the real report with a fake one. That's what I'm thinking right now. Well, the thing is, Karen was also the one who brought us Kay. Like, she's the one who found... Well, she's not the one who found Kay, but she's the one who brought Kay to us when she suffered from memory loss. Well, we'll see.
In place of the goddess of law, I shall hear your confession.
Judge Courtney is talking with Dr. Young in private.
What? Is that true? Understood. I shall convey your words to everyone else, Dr. Young. I properly relayed the autopsy report orally to that child. It seems my granddaughter must have mucked it up when she was writing it down.
Seems like you were right, Bada.
Wow! She mimicked her voice perfectly.
Oh, well, too late now.
There was no need for her to go that far, though.
If I could go back, I would have redone the sentences, but I don't remember exactly what she said.
In other words, the contents of the autopsy report had been falsified. By your hand, Miss Jensen!
Oh, With that, we've proven that the wound on her head came first, followed by her chest wound. Miss Jensen, why did you falsify the autopsy report?
Who's holding it?
Hold it. Hold on a second. She never said she falsified it, you know. She just made a teeny tiny mistake when she wrote it down. Post-mortem and anti-mortem sound kind of similar, you know.
You're complete opposites! That is the very definition of falsification!
Miss Jensen, why would you lie? Kay, ouch! I want you to tell me too. Why would you do something like that?
Well, they kind of rhyme, Bats. Like, I think it could rhyme those two words together. Which happens to be exactly the same, yep. Crazy how nature do that, Bats.
Granny, but
Because you falsified the autopsy report, Kay fell under suspicion. Tell me why you did it!
I can't say. I just can't say it.
Not I don't want to say, but I can't say.
You're all a bunch of bullies, you know. Ganging up on this poor girl who loves her grandmother so. She's totally unrelated to this. I think we can forgive her for one tiny mistake.
Objection!
I don't need to imagine it, backcountry. I'm getting bullied every day in my life. This is the place I come to, you know. This is my safe place here. Where I come to vent and talk about my hard day. Where I can relax with friends who I can feel safe with.
that won't do. Aren't you the one with the most to lose if she testifies?
What are you saying? You see, as the former prosecutor, you'll have to speak a little more clearly, you know?
Very well. As you wish. I shall answer clearly. Miss Jensen played an essential role in this case.
She was an accomplice.
Miss Jensen falsified the autopsy report in order to assist the true culprit.
Ouch!
This girl is an accomplice? What's your basis for that claim?
No, backcountry, stop. Yeah. I was supposed to be bowling free. You've shattered my safe zone, backcountry. What am I gonna do now?
It was impossible for a single person to commit this crime in the first place. The crime could not have been committed without at least 2 people, namely because...
Well, all of these, really. I think the report couldn't have been faked. The number of people wouldn't match, and the victim couldn't have been moved. I think it's all of those. But also, I think it's mainly the number of people. Like, that would solve the biggest, problem in our theory right now. It's pretty crazy about country, but I've heard a bunch of people say that you were their inspiration. Nex, Simeon, Snorfax, Pama, when he's writing his poems, he said that you are his greatest source of inspiration, so it doesn't really surprise me, my man. So I'm gonna go with a number of people.
if the conductor was the culprit and one of the auction guests was the victim, it would contradict the witness's testimony that there were 11 people after the incident.
Yo, what now? You got a problem with my testimony?
Not at all. Rather, it is because I believe your testimony that's why an accomplice must exist.
Sounds about right. That's kind of how I picture you.
So, you still won't admit that your reasoning is wrong?
Objection! Up until now, we had not even considered the possibility of an accomplice. However, if there had been an accomplice, it changes the entire story completely. If the accomplice took the murdered auction guest's place, then the number of people remains 11.
Oh, I see it now. So, that's what you're thinking. But, wouldn't that have been quickly discovered?
Miss Jensen and the victim have similar physiques. If she wore the victim's mask, she could have easily taken her place.
Especially since the masks have voice modulators too.
Miss Jensen, did you switch places with the victim?
I wouldn't.
Who was the conductor? In other words, tell me, who was the true culprit?
I can. I mean, that would also cause trouble for Granny. Ouch! But Granny, I will accept whatever wrongs you may have done. Just tell me everything.
Holy shit. That meltdown, though.
As I thought, it appears you really were an accomplice. The accomplice.
Miss Jensen, why? Smash.
Well, it seems like you were 100% right, Wada.
Miss Jensen, would you please tell us? Yes. It's okay, Granny. I'm fine now. I switched places with the victim, Miss Crane.
So you admit to being the conductor's accomplice?
Yes, I helped out the conductor. I don't really know why, but for some reason, the conductor was expecting to be attacked by Miss Crane.
The conductor expected an attack from the victim?
They were so sure it was going to happen that they came up with a plan to counter it.
They?
A way to beat the victim at her own game. And that's when I was called in. I was told him to wait in the storeroom before the auction began.
He's holding it.
Hold it! Whoa there! You ain't fooling my eyes! If you were waiting in the storeroom, I reckon I would have bumped into you. After all, I've been up in that storeroom the entire auction.
I'm telling the truth.
I wonder about that, you know? Can we really believe a girl who would falsify a report?
Objection!
Aren't you the one who just said that we need to forgive her and forget about that?
There should have been many places to hide in that storeroom.
Then by all means, tell me, where did our little nurse hide?
The place in the storeroom where Miss Jensen hid was...
And now it makes sense. The costume trunk, yeah. We thought it was the victim, but it must have been her. Right? Because if we also know that the victim went outside after she was hit on the head. She went to the viewing platform. And that made me wonder, like, why would they bring them back down to the storeroom? Why would they bring the body back into the storeroom, hide it, and then do that again? Especially if they kept on going with the auction. But this could work. I'm not sure why there's blood there, but... Oh, maybe they put her there and then she got up and left? Because they thought she was dead, but she was really just knocked out cold or something? I don't know, but anyhow. This is my best guess right now.
Take that! She hid inside this costume trunk.
A costume trunk, eh?
Ah! Now that you mention it, that box was already there before I snuck in. I figured it would hide in there myself, but it was wrapped up nice and tight with a chain. And was locked too, so I had to give it up.
I suspect that when you sneaked into the room, Miss Jensen was already inside the trunk.
Yes, it would have been bad if one of the guests from the auction had opened the lid. After instructing me to hide inside, the conductor wrapped a chain around the costume trunk.
I can already tell that she doesn't know who the conductor is, which is just a bit annoying.
I think they went downstairs, using the lift shortly thereafter. It was right before the auction.
So then, when the auction began, only you and Miss Hart were in the storeroom.
Yes, that should be right.
The auction had been going on as usual, but when a certain participant made the winning bid, the conductor committed the crime. Miss Hart must have heard the altercation that occurred then.
You betcha! I was trembling behind that there statue the whole time, though.
Following the altercation, Jill Crane was murdered. After killing Jill Crane, the conductor carried the body to the costume trunk. Miss Jensen, who had been hiding in the trunk, was made to take Miss Crane's place. The victim's body was placed inside the costume trunk. The conductor then took Miss Jensen, who had been made to look like Jill Crane, and returned to the auction hall as if nothing had happened. Was this roughly what happened in the storeroom during the incident?
And then she got up got out of the trunk and went up the ladder, trying to get help probably. And that's when she met Kay and collapsed, I bet.
Yes, that's right.
I'll hold it! Pulling the old switcheroo with one of the auction guests. Ain't that impossible? That guy and the murder victim are two completely different people, you know. Don't you reckon one of the other participants would have noticed and caused a ruckus?
No, not at all. The reason they didn't notice the switch was because... she stole the victim's clothes. That, and I guess she acted like her, plus the mask, but I'm gonna guess clothes here. Just don't wanna get a game over, so I'm gonna save. From what I can tell, Miss Jensen and the victim appear to have a similar physique. Furthermore, there was a rule requiring a mask to be worn during the auction. If their clothes were the same, I doubt anyone would have noticed she was a different person.
Yes, I blended right in. I borrowed Miss Crane's clothes and ouch!
Bane Pumpkin?
You mustn't embarrass the dead like that. I know. I also thought it was pretty heartless to leave her exposed like that. So when the conductor wasn't looking, I covered her up in the raincoat that was up for auction.
So she was the one who put the red raincoat on the victim. And then, the auction resumed as if nothing had happened.
I reckon I took the picture of her in the red raincoat after that. That make all the facts line up. After I took the photo, I went over to the lift to sneak a peek down below. I witnessed all the 11 participants, and then I hightailed it back behind the statue.
Don't tell me, you were hiding the entire time until we found you?
Man, that's... how should I put it?
What is it? Did something happen?
I didn't mention it before, but after that I might have dozed off a little. To be more precise, I fainted? Well, something like that.
So something did happen!
It ain't no big deal. Kinda embarrassing to say though. It was this huge thump sound all of a sudden. I was a little surprised by that. It was right after I had just witnessed a murder, so I was shaking in my boots. My heart sort of tightened up, and I was off to La La Land. When I woke up, it was already the next day, and the time y'all came by the storeroom.
I see. So there was a large sound. Miss Hart, I take it you do not know what transpired in the storeroom beyond this point?
I guess. But after the auction, all the masks were promptly returned. So I reckon the participants had exited through the storeroom just like I done said.
Miss Jensen, what were your actions after the auction resumed?
I took the victim's place and participated in the auction. The conductor instructed me to win the bid for the costume trunk, because the body was inside it. It would have been bad if another auction guest won a bid for it.
Didn't realize the box was empty.
No, we only found out when I came up to the storeroom to pay the bill. The conductor was with me and told me to go search for her immediately. And then I found another girl collapsed in front of the ladder.
And that was probably Kay. Kay?
Yes, she probably fell down from the roof and lost consciousness.
Maybe the victim left the hatch open when she went up to the rooftop.
I understand now.
Kay was surprised at seeing the collapsed victim and did not notice the open hatch. She must have missed her footing and fell down into the storeroom. Miss Hart, I have determined the sound that made you faint. It was likely the sound of Kay falling onto the storeroom floor.
That might have been it. Though I reckon it'd be kind of pathetic to faint over something like that.
When Miss Jensen found the unconscious Kay, Miss Hart was also unconscious behind the statue. The situation is becoming clearer to me. Miss Jensen, please continue your story.
After I found Kay and the victim, I put them both in the trunk.
That's kind of fucking morbid.
If the customers at the auction found out, there would have been a huge commotion.
Was this an order from the conductor as well?
Yes, it was. But since I secretly decided to put the raincoat on Miss Crane, I had to dispose of the raincoat without the conductor noticing.
So the conductor didn't anticipate the raincoat becoming another piece of evidence.
And finally, we dressed Miss Crane in a spare conductor's outfit.
I see. In doing so, you made the victim appear as if she was the conductor.
In the end, the auction ended without anyone noticing anything.
Miss Jensen, your crimes have become clear. If you know anything else, please hold nothing back.
I want to help you more, but that is all I know. If I had to say, there is just one thing that bothers me. When I took Miss Green's place, I borrowed her clothes. But there was no way for me to borrow her hair. Ouch! What kind of coroner's assistant goes around stealing a corpse's hair?
I would think that robbing the deceased of their clothes would be questionable enough.
Both the color and the length of our hair is different, so I was worried about how to disguise it. However, the conductor even had a wig prepared for me. In fact, he had two of them. Inside the costume trunk, there was both a straight wig and a wavy wig.
Two wigs. Why were there two?
Who knows?
Wait, what kind of hair did Jill have? Where is she? I think that's her? Yeah, Jill Crane. So she has kind of wavy hair. Same for her body, I can see. Yeah, it's not like curly or anything.
Who knows? Maybe it was a precaution, in case the victim had changed her hairstyle. I ended up using the straight wig to match Miss Crane's hair.
So that means the wavy wig was left unused.
Karen's testimony jotted down on the argument. Okay, that's good.
Is that really all you know?
Yes. Yep, that's really all I know.
So that means you don't know who the conductor is?
I'm sorry. I only knew that person as the auction conductor. I never saw that person without a mask on. The conductor seemed to be on guard, towing everybody.
At this rate...
Edgeworth, is that all you've got?
It's weird. I thought like the last room might even finish this case since we were doing the hearing here. But right now it seems to me like we might not even finish. We'll probably not even finish it today. Oh well.
Even if that nurse is an accomplice, it changes absolutely nothing, you know? In the end, the true culprit is still Kay Faraday. All you did was add another criminal, you know?
Oh, hey, Nex. How's it going, man? Hope you're enjoying the weekend, buddy. Getting some time off, I hope.
The rule of law cannot be overturned. At least, not for your sake.
Oh, that'd be awesome, man. That'd be awesome. I'm dying to see that game. Have you played it at all? Or is it going to be like a completely blind run?
Is this as far as I go? Am I unable to save Kay?
Objection!
Oh! Objection! Francisca to the rescue. It's completely blind? Cool. I've seen a bit of the game, but I'm wondering if it's any good. Because I've heard like mixed reactions about it. So yeah, I'll definitely be watching, man.
Francisca? Why are you here?
Did I tell you, Miles Edgeworth? Wherever there is a case, I will follow. Yeah, I heard it's like Dark Souls with guns, basically. And that's it. Except you have to learn how to parry. Yeah, I don't know, like I thought the premise was basically like, you know, Dark Souls with guns or something. No blocking. Can you roll though? You can probably like roll and dodge. Since that's also like the fundamentals, one of the fundamentals of Dark Souls.
Prosecutor Von Karma, your hard work is most appreciated.
However, don't get the wrong idea. I only came here to find out the truth behind what happened to Kay Faraday. I don't plan on forgiving you for abandoning the prosecutor's path!
I understand.
You should thank your former subordinate. He gave me some valuable information which may save Kay Faraday. Game stuff? Yeah, I bet. I wonder if anybody has already beaten it, like, you know, on the fucking Donkey Kong bongos or something. Or is it too early for that?
Detective Gumshoe did.
Listen well, Maj Edgeworth. I think it's also like the first time that Francisca said anything nice about Gumshoe. This will be the final piece of evidence. Jill Crane suffered the wound on her head first! Come on, Francisca.
Well, someone say something!
Well, I hate to say it, but we already proved that.
Already? Proved?
Yes, well, just a few minutes ago.
Ah! You should have told me sooner!
You're the one who barged in here and started talking.
Well then, does that mean you found out what the murder weapon was already?
No, not yet.
Is that so? In that case, listen well. The victim was struck on the head with a blunt cylindrical object. The wound on the chest was suffered post-mortem.
A cylindrical murder weapon.
Objection! You know, this report of yours, I trust it's accurate, of course.
These were the results of 2 independent autopsies carried out by zwei respected doctors.
Objection! That's reassuring, but it's too bad.
Objection! Interpol is after the black market auction, and I am the prosecutor in charge of the investigation. The victim participated in the auction. Therefore, it is only natural for me to investigate.
especially now that she's been murdered.
I see. Clever girl, little Von Karma.
Smash. Then it has been settled. The victim died from blunt force trauma to the head.
Cause of death, blunt force trauma to the head, chest wound was postmortem. Okay, so it's official now. Unfortunately, the murder weapon has yet to be found.
Just knowing the shape of the murder weapon gives me an idea as to what it might be.
Hey! In my investigation, we didn't find any other murder weapons, you know?
If you consider the conductor's possessions in the crime scene, the answer should be clear. The blunt cylindrical object used in the auction hall
had to have been the auction gavel. Not even gonna save state here because I'm that sure of my choice here.
It was something the conductor had in their hand during the auction. Namely, an auction gavel.
An auction gavel? We didn't find anything like that. If the culprit is the conductor, it is possible that the gavel may be the murder weapon. However, that alone is not reason enough. Wouldn't you agree?
Of course, I have proof to back it up. This piece of evidence proves that the murder weapon is the auction gavel.
Okay, I think it was Lotta's testimony. Where is it? Her updated one. Like the gavel in her fucking hands? Yeah, but we have evidence. I mean, yeah, that was also one of the options. But I think that was wrong because the, first of all, I guess it's possible. I don't know if there's a difference between like a judge's gavel and an auction gavel. But we know that the gavel, that they like stopped using the gavel in the auction when they returned after the murder. So that's probably it. So it could be the same gavel, like, I'm not sure though. It would definitely mean that Justine is an accomplice to this crime, and she's helping us, kinda, like on the DL, so I doubt that's the case. However, the sound of the gavel was not heard afterwards. There we go. I'm gonna save here just in case.
Take that! According to Miss Hart's testimony, after the victim had been murdered, it seems she suddenly stopped hearing the sound of the gavel during the auction. However, she had been able to hear it up until then. Why was that, you ask? It was because it had been used as the murder weapon and was covered in the victim's blood. It became necessary to dispose of it. Isn't that right? Blaze the best! I have a search for the murder weapon performed immediately.
Well, good luck with that, you know. You've got to work hard. You've got to work as hard as you can while you're young, you see.
He's completely confident that we won't find it.
Smash. Well then, while the search for the murder weapon continues, I hereby call for a brief recess.
Oh, to be continued. Luckily, we still have 15 minutes left, so let's continue right now. This might be the final chapter before the end of the case, but I'm not positive.
Smash. Order in the court. Prosecutor Von Karma, your report, please.
I have bad news. We've searched every inch of the Grand Tower, but the auction gavel was nowhere to be found.
That is most unfortunate. It seems I am left with no choice but to pronounce a verdict.
Well, it sure seems that way, you know. Normally, you wouldn't commit a blunder like leaving behind the murder weapon, you know. The best criminals would never do something like that, you see.
The best, huh?
I don't have enough information. Is this as far as I can go?
Yes, yes. It's a shame, you know, but it can't be helped, you see. This takes me back, you know, all those defendants who came to me asking for a plea bargain. They trusted me, you know, told me every one of their dirty little secrets, you see. And when it came time for the trial, I'd get them sentenced life in prison. They were all completely dumbstruck, you know, each and every one of them. Oh, how I wish that you could have seen it, you know. The stupid look on their faces.
Smash. I shall hereby announce my verdict. Please humbly accept the words of the goddess of law.
There's nothing more I can do. With this, both Kay and I are... If only we had some evidence!
I never thought that I would be passing judgment on you like this.
Is this the end?
The defendant, Blaze the Best. I hereby indict you.
Was? What?
Oh, what's gotten into you all of a sudden?
I have here.
Oh, I like how she changed sides. She's on our side now, literally.
I have here documents regarding a certain case. The IS-7 incident, a case that happened 18 years ago.
Documents, you say? Why would you suddenly... Wait, you don't mean... On the day of the crime, the record of your keycard being used was because...
I came to this room to fetch these documents, of course. Although, when I entered the meeting room, it seemed it was before the black market auction had begun. At first, I told you that I came to gather documents about you, Prosecutor Edgeworth. At that time, I simply could not tell you the truth.
Okay, I definitely need to check these out. Oh, I like that she's on the opposite end of the best. That's perfect. So wait, what does these say exactly? Case number 7, 18 years ago, man from Karma. Yeah, that's like Edgeworth's dad's case, the one we solved last after 18 years. So does that mean discovered inside Mr. Mansion's? No clues to whereabouts of Dover's son or Gustavia's son, who until the day before the incident regularly visited Master's mansion. Could they have something to do with this? What game am I doing after this? Well, I decided to stop with the polling for now, since I feel like it didn't get me the result I was hoping for, as far as, like, you know, streaming games that people want to see. I thought that would, like, assure me that every game I stream people would certainly want to see, but it doesn't feel like that's actually what's going on. So I'm just going to start choosing my own games, and I'm going to do, like, much more popular and mainstream games. So I'm not sure yet. I'm trying to keep track of, like, you know, upcoming big releases or something. I might buy Far Cry as soon as it comes out, or I don't know, any of the other big games that are supposed to be coming out. I need to find a better way to keep track of it, actually, if you have an idea. But yeah, I'll do after this. I'll do, I don't know, either the new South Park game, or maybe finishing up GTA. I've got a bit to finish up there. Maybe Fallout 4, maybe Dishonored 2, one of those. Oh, you and Sean are going to do it? Then I'll lay off it. That's cool. Just let me know if you're actually doing it or not. If you guys are not, then I'd be happy to do it. But yeah, I got plenty of other stuff to do. I might do, well, I'll see. Either Fallout, South Park, or Dishonored. I think those are the ones that I have on my plate right now. Oh, maybe even Witcher 3, we'll see, even though it's really, really long. But we'll see, one of those probably. Or, if by that time there will be another big release, I might do that. Something that isn't Far Cry. Okay, so back to this. You played the new South Park a bit? I heard, like, mixed reviews about it, but mostly because of, like, you know, Ubisoft bullshit. That they just, like, you know, put microtransactions into that as well, and loot boxes or something, and that kind of ruined the game experience. But other than that, I really enjoy. Gameplay's kind of boring. I mean, only good an hour, so the story's pretty good. Sounds kind of like the first game. Like the first game got repetitive too, after a while. Okay, thanks. Next. Thing is, I also, well, is there a way to, like, I don't know, find hype about it? Use reviews, maybe? I want, like, the hypest game releases, not just any game release, but that's good, thanks, man. I look over it. I actually didn't know that was a category on Steam, so I'll look that up later, man. Oh, it's totally trivial? Okay. So anyway, so I played the first game, it was a lot of fun, but because I watched, like, all the episodes of South Park, I understood, like, most, if not all of the references. It was very funny, and it's just like that kind of stuff that was the best about it, but eventually the gameplay did get a bit repetitive. But I can live with that. If the content itself is funny enough, I can live with that. Kingdom Hearts? Well, I don't have a consoles yet. I might get them in the future. I might get some in the future to do even more new hype games. Yeah, I'm a big fan of South Park. I'm even watching the newest seasons, even though they're not as good. So I'm curious to see what they did there. So yeah, you can have Kingdom Hearts completely next. Go ahead. I don't have any consoles at the moment. Yeah, Stick of Truth was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. Even if it did get repetitive after a while, the gameplay, you know, it was funny enough. Games that are funny are automatically gain, like, I don't know, 5 to 6 points in my book. Just games that are actually funny. It's so most sophisticated. Thanks, Nex. I'll go over that later. Thanks a lot, man. I'll probably mark it too. All right. So yeah, let's get back to the game. Took 14 years for Kingdom Hearts 3 to come out. Yeah, just think about Kingdom Hearts 4. They'll probably never let that die. Especially with all the memes now about, like, you know, Hank Hill being in the next Kingdom Hearts or The Simpsons or who knows what. I wonder if they'll actually do a Marvel universe in this Kingdom Hearts or the one after. Yeah, like, you know, I get that. Understandably enough, most are console games. But every once in a while you get, like, a little gem that's, you know, a little indie game, like Cuphead. I was not aware of Cuphead at all until it came out. So, but I'm trying to keep my ear to the ground, you know? So once in a while there's like a little hidden gem like that you gotta get on real quick. Or there was that other game that I think was hype for a while. The one... I was actually thinking about streaming it, even though it's supposed to be like fucking awful. The one with it's like a weird game with like a guy inside a giant pot or a cauldron. And he's supposed to like climb mountains and shit. It's really weird. It's supposed to be like extremely frustrating, like unbelievably frustrating and difficult. I actually wonder if they put any Star Wars references since... Oh yeah, in Star Wars. I would not be surprised at all if they'd add Star Wars or Marvel to Kingdom Hearts. It would not surprise me at all. Yeah, don't you know that? It's like... That guy who did that did another game that was like very frustrating. I don't remember the name right now, but he said, so, like, when they interviewed him, he said something like, I made this game because I hate someone very much, and I made it for them, and I hope they suffer a lot through it. Something like that. Yeah, they did do Tron. Yeah. So they did live action. Metal Gear Survive. Oh, there's another Metal Gear? Wait, oh, isn't that the fucking zombie one? Actually, people will probably be pretty hyped for that. I took the idea from you, Next, from seeing how well your stream of Sonic Forces? Yeah, Sonic Forces went. So yeah. That's a joke. First of all, I think it's only for consoles, but yeah, I had streamed that just for, like, you know, just to bitch about it all the time. Yeah, people would still want to see it, just like to see how bad it is. And I'd be up for that. I'd be up for to, like, stream a game, just, like, you know, bitch about it the whole time with everybody, saying, like, how Kojima would have done it or something. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, if that's on the list, then yeah, I'll mark it too. I probably won't be out on PC though, unless they change something. I don't know anymore. Oh, there's also, of course, Norman Reedus and the Funky Fetus, which will come eventually, and that'll be very interesting too. Would be interesting to compare that to the new Metal Gear, that to see if there are any you know, lines, any comparisons to be made a minute. Anyhow, back to the game.
What are you doing, Justine? Why are you indicting Pops? Without any basis. This is slander. That was a wonderful remark, Sebastian. Huh? Really? Of course there is a basis. During the case 18 years ago, Prosecutor Manfred von Karma fabricated information regarding the body.
Yeah, so does that mean... No, he was a prosecutor first before he became the chairman. So maybe he's the one who decided to, like, not punish Von Karma because of that. Just give him a slap on the wrist.
That was because the body of the sculptor, Isaac Dover, had been stolen.
Papa fabricated information about a body? What do you mean?
Detective Lacer, who handled the initial investigation, reported that the body had gone missing. However, in order to deceive Prosecutor Von Karma, there is a person who purposely did not report to him that the body had disappeared.
Maybe he was an assistant to Von Karma or something?
Was?
What did you say?
That person would not forgive those who defied him, nor would he allow others to hold power.
Chief Prosecutor, probably. What, do you think that Von Karma defied him in some way?
He would use any means necessary in order to bend others to his will. And then, also 18 years ago, Director Young was ordered by a certain individual to write a fake autopsy report.
Oh. Well, this is getting very interesting. Oh, so that's what he held over her head. That's why her granddaughter had to help him. Because he knew about that and he was threatening to, like, to say it and ruin her reputation and would destroy her career. Even though she's like 68, she can retire, I think. But she would retire, like, you know, in disgrace.
Dr. Young was the one who wrote the autopsy report for the IS-7 incident.
Who's holding it?
Hold it! Please wait. Granny didn't do anything wrong. She was ordered by that person. She had no choice but to obey.
That person
Was the chief prosecutor at the time.
So he was always corrupt.
the chief prosecutor 18 years ago.
You don't mean... The chief prosecutor who gave Papa his first penalty?
It was none other than you, Blaze the Best.
And he's smiling. What an asshole.
Objection. What are you saying? Pops would never do something like that. Overruled. Sebastian, we do not need your opinion right now. Please, the best. Do you have a rebuttal?
Nice one, Gar. Just love seeing that one.
Fabricating stuff about the body. But Karma did all that on his own, you know. Falsifying the autopsy report. Young, you would actually do something like that. Man, you really did some terrible things behind my back, you know.
Hold it!
Seeing as how all parties concerned are here today, we should ask them directly.
He's holding it.
Hold it. Please wait. Granny is... Ouch! Granny, I'm sorry. I knew. That's why I...
Blaze is responsible for Gregory's death? Is he? Wasn't Gregory murdered over... I'm actually not sure if he was murdered over the case from the end of the previous game? Or I'm not sure if we even know. Like, wasn't he just shot in an elevator? I'm not sure if we know why it was because of that. What was the reason? At least I don't remember. Did they actually say in the games, Mario?
Yep. Because if I didn't, he said he would expose you. If I didn't assist in the crime, Granny would be prosecuted. That's what that man, the conductor, told me.
Who would know about that? Gar, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna delete that because it's just like... Oh, fuck, it won't work. For some reason, I can't... Did they remove mod powers for streamers? God damn it. Okay.
So Miss Jensen was being threatened. Was the conductor who threatened you Blaze the Best?
That... I don't know.
Greg was murdered because he gave Karma his first penalty. He got a penalty for not revealing the body when missing. He didn't know it because... He didn't say it because he didn't know. Blaze didn't tell him. Yeah, now I get that. Oh, thanks, thanks, Wada and X. Thanks for that. Just helping the Twitch boys. Okay, so that's why. So wait, are you saying that, so Greg was murdered because they gave Karma his first penalty? Did that mean that Karma ordered a hitman on Gregory? Is that the case? That's fucking crazy. Did they actually, when did they say that? I'm dying to know. Like, I would love to see Edgeworth's reaction when he realizes it. And yeah, it's true that Blaze is probably also responsible, but if, you know... Manfred killed Gregory? And then he adopted Edgeworth? Oh my god. And then he adopted, Miles? Holy shit. Oh, that's fucking evil. That guy is fucking evil. Wait, but that doesn't add up because... Oh, maybe because Edgy was really young. Because he saw his father being murdered. That was in the first game? Really? No, I don't remember that. Holy shit. That's fucking huge. How did I remember that? In the first game, you mean... Not the first Phoenix Wright game. The first... Investigations game. That's fucking crazy. I'm gonna have to YouTube that after this. I gotta see that scene again.
They do have similar physiques, but I never saw the person's face.
Oh, the first Phoenix Wright. Really? Oh, so that's why I don't remember. I played it like a long time ago. I'd say like, I don't know, close to 7 years or so, probably. So yeah, it's been a while.
Any trivial thing is fine. Give us a characteristic that could be a clue.
That's right. The conductor's mask, and exposed just a tiny part of his face. There was a tattoo there. I'm sure of it.
tattoo. Does Blaze have tattoos? I don't remember. I mean, he looks like a biker, but conductor's clothes data. Or a white jacket with a purple flower, white gloves, and a mask. Has a facial tattoo. Tattoo, you say? I know they're gonna show him in a second, but I'm too... Oh, he's hiding it with hair. It's probably a wig. Okay. But why did he wear a mask? Well, you see, no one knew who he was before he put on the mask. So that's why.
Objection! I really have no idea what you're talking about, you know? As you can see, there are clearly no tattoos on my face, you see?
Yeah, because you're completely covering it. It might be painful, but I think it would be painful for the removing party next fix. Not for the one who is wearing it. Yeah, he is a pretty big guy.
So that person doesn't match me at all, you know? The person who threatened her, this so-called conductor, I wonder who he is, you know?
Overruled. You have incurred the wrath of the goddess of law. I suggest you watch what you say.
Hasn't he incurred your own wrath rather than the wrath of the goddess?
Jill Crane has been pursuing you, just as I have.
Oh, so she's been working on this for a while.
And I will not let her death be in vain.
Crane was, you know, you say she was pursuing me? My, I didn't know her that well, you know. I don't mind girls chasing after me, you know, but I don't recall her ever falling for me, you see.
Yeah, it's kind of a mix between, it's like San Fran and Tokyo, only it's LA and Tokyo. So they take like laws from, you know, Japanese and American courts and probably just like make up whatever they want.
You didn't know the victim well? That is a testimony we haven't heard up until now. Before the eyes of the goddess of law, you should give us an official testimony.
I see. Everyone is bullying me. If you're gonna go that far, it's fine, you see. I'll just have to make you disappear. Every last one of you.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, I shall cooperate with you as well. If we let this opportunity slip by, I doubt we will ever get him to stand in court again. Please, do not let this chance go to waste.
Yes. I promise I will live up to your expectations.
Smash! Now then, Blaze the Best, you shall testify regarding the victim.
The victim, Jill Crane, was a member of the Prosecutorial Investigation Committee, you see. Personally, I didn't know her that well, you know. Either way, it's not like I had a motive to murder her, you know. I have no idea why she was pursuing me, you see.
You intend to deny your guilt until the bitter end, don't you?
Of course he does. There's no way Pops could be the criminal. I mean, he's my Pops, you know. He's the very best, like no one ever was.
Did the translator insert a Pokemon joke here? I wonder if it was in the original game.
Yes, Sebastian. If you're gonna stick up for me, be sure to have a clear basis, you know?
All right, I got it. I'll clear you of these false accusations, Pops. I believe in you, Pops. We won't lose to someone like Mr. Edgeworth.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if the translators added it, since it's an independent translation, not an official one. So they could have done whatever they want, or maybe it was in the original game too. But I don't know what the words are to the original theme song.
Yes, yes. You really are pure, you know?
References are all over the place in both English and... Oh, really? I didn't know that. Well, I wouldn't know that since I never played the Japanese versions of any of this. But that's good to know. Like, I assumed in the official versions, in the official translations, that they didn't, like, you know, make up anything of their own. But in this, they had, like, more free reign, I suppose.
That person, he really loves his father, doesn't he?
However, one must be able to accept the mistakes of their father. And she knows that really well. No matter how much they may look up to him.
Each person must atone for their crimes, no matter who they are.
This is going to be hard for Sebastian, but I simply cannot overlook his father's crimes.
Here we go. Okay, gonna press everything. It was a short testimony, so we're just gonna press and see if something pops out. He's very good at this. He gives very hard testimonies. Oh, my health is full. That's perfect. I almost lost like all of my health last time because it was to like one of his testimonies. I just couldn't figure out the right thing to present. Okay, so she was part of the PIC.
Hold it! If she was a member of the PIC, then you should have been familiar with her.
Well, I knew her face, but that's about it, you know? It's not like we met each other on a regular basis, you see?
See, he talks like really quickly and like really shortly, so it's hard to pin something on him.
Hold it! So you're saying you weren't very familiar with the victim?
That's right. I didn't even know about the burn mark on Crane's hand, you see?
You didn't know about the burn mark?
Well, you see, even if I had gotten close to her, she would have disappeared soon. It's a pain to remember someone, you know, where they're just gonna disappear, you see?
In other words, anyone who defies him disappears. I would like you to add your statement to the victim's burn, about the victim's burn, to your testimony.
That's interesting. We know that in the recording, the conductor addresses her burn. So this might be the key here. It's usually, like I said, 90% of the times. Sometimes they use it as a, like, they misguide us like that, or they use it as a misdirect. But 90% of the times, the part that they add to a testimony is the one that we need to present on. Why does he wear goggles? Because he's crying a lot. So instead of it getting all over his like beard and clothes, he just like collects them all in the goggles, and then he like takes them off, pours out the tears, and keeps going. Why? Because his name is Blaze, so he has to justify that. I'm assuming he's some sort of, I don't know, pyromaniac or something like that. Pyrophile? I don't know.
Hold it! So you're saying that you didn't know about the victim's burn? Is that really the truth?
You really are persistent, you know? Do you really think I would pay attention to every little wound on a woman's hand?
I would think the burn mark on the victim's hand would be hard to miss.
Now that you mention it, Jill Crane would regularly wear gloves. I, too, did not know about the burn until the incident occurred.
Let me see where the burn is exactly. I remember it was like on her forearm, but Oh no, it's like right on the back of her palm. Okay. So yeah, if she wore gloves, they wouldn't have known. Well, we know that the killer definitely knew about the burn mark.
Jill Crane regularly wore gloves.
I thought so. She was probably trying to hide the burn mark, you see. I understand how sensitive a woman can be about these things, you know.
I'd like you to add your so-called sensitive understanding of a woman to your testimony.
Okay. This might be our tactic. We're just gonna let him keep adding stuff to the testimony, and eventually we'll find something that's wrong.
Hold it! So you were aware that she always wore gloves?
Well aware. Those gloves were practically her trademark, you see.
Hold on, I want to see exactly what, if we can, what did the recordings say? No, it doesn't, like, there's no transcript or anything. One of them has a burn mark, okay. And the other person knew about it.
But I guess it weren't just a fashion statement. She wanted to hide her burn mark, you know. I wonder if that girl over there is also hiding something under her bandages.
Huh? I'm not hiding anything.
I think you are, you know. You're hiding the face of a criminal!
Objection! Those words should be directed at someone like you. I shall expose, here and now, the face of a true criminal.
How amusing. Go ahead and try it, if you think you can.
So, Jill Crane regularly wore gloves. That's interesting. I should look over the evidence one more time.
Because it seems like the game is hinting that that's the statement I need to present something on. I'm not sure what. It could be the recording. It could be the autopsy report where we see her without the gloves. Which is weird because if she always wore gloves, why didn't she wear them when she was murdered? Well, we know that she switched clothes. So that must be it, but I don't know. But on Blaze Breakdown, his lighter catches his beard on fire. Oh, that would be great, yeah. And that would also expose his facial tattoos. That would work really well.
Hold it! Was there ever any trouble between you two over work?
Unlikely, you know. I'm kind of important, you see. I've got a report saying that she was exceedingly capable. But, you know, our social status was completely different, you see. So we didn't talk much, you know.
That may be true, but it doesn't prove that you didn't kill her.
That's rather prejudiced, you know. I mean, look at you. You're taking the side of a criminal.
It seems Mr. Crane was the one who had an interest in you, Mr. Chairman.
You know, that really is a mystery. I haven't the faintest idea, you see. So that's that. Since I had no motive, your reasoning doesn't hold, you know?
You think his cum burns just like fire? Probably. I wouldn't be surprised if he becomes fire. Or lava, too. Little droplets of lava. That would be a pretty cool superpower, actually. Sorry, I was just imagining the adventure of, like, the guy who comes lava. I think that would make a great comic book. Or animated series.
Hold it! So you have no clue why the victim had been pursuing you?
Nope. Not the slightest, you know.
It's because Pops is such a handsome man.
It's true, you know. Women appear before me and then disappear. Disappear and then reappear.
You guys could never reach my pop's level of awesomeness.
It would certainly be impossible for a normal person. Having people appear and then physically disappear on a daily basis.
Well then, maybe Courtney is going to disappear too.
If we'll let you go, then I bet you will.
Before that happens, I'll see to it your way of life disappears today.
I see. Then I should finish it before the day's over.
I'll have to organize my information about the victim. If there's anything you don't understand, you should look over the evidence again. Perhaps you'll find a new fact around this time. Franziska, you're willing to help me? I told you, I'm doing this for Kay Faraday, not you. Franziska seems to be worrying about Kay in her own way.
Which is kind of touching. Okay, so we know it's definitely the gloves, right? Now, I'm thinking it's probably the stuffed animal. Because we know that, I can't remember exactly what they said, but I remember that they referred to one of them having a burn mark. So that means that she probably didn't have her gloves on at the time. But why was that? Let's see. White gloves. So the conductor's clothes do have white gloves. But she didn't have them even before that. And over here, they took off the gloves. Like, they didn't put the gloves on her for some reason. I know, my gut is telling me, I've been wrong before, but my gut is telling me that it's the stuffed animal. But just to be sure, let me go over the newer testimonies. Or the newer pieces of evidence. Last testimony about the secret auction. Let's see. So she added that the gavel was not hurt, but we already know that it's because that was the murder weapon. So moving on, we got the stuffed animal, of course. That's also a recorder. The masks, which I don't see how I'm going to use here with the gloves. Lada's photo, which also shows us that she wasn't wearing gloves. Oh, maybe that's it. This could also be it. This is proof that she wasn't wearing gloves when she was murdered. Because this is before they changed. Oh, maybe no. This is after they changed outfits. So this doesn't necessarily prove that. The only piece of evidence from before the murder is the recording that we have. There's also blood on the hidden lift, which we haven't used that, but I don't think that's relevant right now. The gloves? I don't know. Costume trunk. Unicorn blood. Red raincoat. Which doesn't cover the hands. And there's Karen's testimony. What did she say? Conductor prepared wigs so that Jill Crane could be impersonated. For some reason, there was both a straight wig and a wavy wig. And since Miss Crane's hair is straight, the wavy wig was left unused. Is there any way you could have used... Could it be that the wavy wig is like his beard? It seems a bit like it, but I don't know. And we have, of course, details about the case. So I don't know, I feel like my best bet is the recording. So let's go with that. I have full health. I feel like I can take some chances right now. Objection!
Jill Crane regularly wore gloves. If that is true, then it creates a huge contradiction.
Oh, a huge contradiction, you say?
I would like you to listen to the voices recorded on this stuffed animal one more time.
This could actually be good time for Bane, because they were using voice modulators.
And I knew who you were right away. You can't hide that burn from me. Silence, huh? I've been waiting for my chance to get revenge all this time.
We were under the impression that this was the moment when the victim was murdered. I knew who you were right away. You can't hide that burn from me. We thought that this statement was said by the culprit.
Isn't that fine? What's the problem, you know?
There's a huge problem with that. If the victim had been wearing gloves from the start, it would have been possible to see the burn on her hand.
Objection! Gloves come off very easily, you know? She could have taken them off during the auction.
That's... Who's holding it?
Hold it. That's not true. Miss Crane had been wearing her gloves when I took her place.
Wait, what? Wait. Maybe that means that... So she's the one talking? And he's the one that has burns. Interesting.
Miss Crane had been wearing her gloves when I took her place. She must have been wearing them before she was murdered.
Maybe the tattoo isn't a facial tattoo, but actually a burn. And that's how she I don't know, recognized him or something, and that's why she said that. And then he attacked her and she screamed. Could that be it? I don't remember the exact lines. I wish there was a transcript.
What are you saying? You! Don't you understand the position you're in?
I'm not scared anymore. I have Granny here with me. Please, your day of reckoning has finally come.
Somehow, it seems like you all want to disappear.
Almost. Did you see that, Wada? Almost.
Permanently.
The only one who will be disappearing here is you, Blaze the Best.
Objection. Hey, how dare you say that to Pops? Does it really matter if the burn mark was visible or not?
Objection! It certainly does matter. If the burn mark was visible, then we'd have a complete turnabout of the situation.
What are you saying? If the victim's burn mark wasn't visible, what exactly does that tell you?
The culprit also had a burn mark. Sebastian, turn your way of thinking around. Turn your way of thinking around. If the victim was wearing gloves, then her burn mark could not have been seen. In that case, whose burn mark was seen?
Someone else's burn mark?
Precisely. The culprit must have had a burn mark as well. In other words, I knew who you were right away. You can't hide that burn from me. The person who said this was not the culprit, but the victim.
What? What?
Objection! Sebastian, could you please step aside? Edgeworth, all your reasoning up till now was just a figment of your imagination, you know? The culprit has a burn mark. Where was it, you know? If you can't answer that, then your logic doesn't hold up, you know?
Where was the culprit's burn mark?
I wonder where the burn mark could have been.
I say on his face, and that's what they saw underneath the mask, not a tattoo.
During the auction, wasn't everyone wearing a disguise?
Indeed. During the auction, everyone should have been dressed in a particular way. If the burn mark was not visible under those conditions, then...
Now, why don't you show us? Where was the culprit's burn? You'll have to show me the proof, you see.
I think it's in Karen's testimony, right? That she says... No. Repaired wigs. I think it's something to do with them. You know, cheap plastic. Where was it? Did it not say that anywhere? Shit. It was Karen, the one who said that that she could see under his mask. She's the only one who actually saw him. I think it might be this. It's either this or I don't know. I'm just gonna try shit because I don't feel like I have anything definitive. I think it's either that or Karen's testimony. Or the Gem and Ninja mask, but we know it wasn't the Gem and Ninja mask that he chose. So whatever. I'm just gonna try this. Got full health. Let's take some risks. Take that!
Could you take a look at this piece of evidence?
Are you suggesting it will tell me where the burn mark was located? It's too bad. I just don't understand it at all, you know?
Oh, so I was wrong. I need to consider the state of the conductor when Miss Crane saw the burn mark. If I focus on that, the location of the burn mark should logically come to light.
Hey, Edgeworth. Hurry up and present it, you know? Where was the culprit?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna try Karen's testimony. Oh no. See, she switched places with the victim, where they were. With the conductor, he was wearing, let's see. Let me look at the conductor's uniform. Or a white jacket with a purple flower, white gloves, and a mask. Has a facial tattoo. Here it says it. Okay, so I just got the wrong evidence. Like, it says so here. My bad. I forgot that this was updated. Whatever. Let's just do this. Stop talking. Take that!
It was what the conductor was wearing during the auction.
In other words, the outfit you were wearing at the time.
What can you figure out from the clothes alone?
Objection!
The conductor had been wearing a white suit, white gloves, and a mask. His attire had covered up most of his skin. However, according to Miss Jensen's testimony, the conductor's mask exposed a small part of his face. In addition, while she thought there had been a tattoo there, it's possible that she simply mistook the burn mark for a tattoo.
Oh, hey Dolan, how you doing?
A burn mark on his face?
Objection! That's all very scintillating. But I'm afraid you're getting excited over nothing, you know. None of the PIC members have any burn marks on their faces, you see.
Yeah, prove it.
Naturally, that includes me as well, you know.
Huh? Pops? But...
Sebastian, could you please be quiet? If you're an idiot, then act like one, you know?
Come on, Sebastian, rise up.
Normally, Sebastian is a nuisance to everyone around him. But this time, I owe him my gratitude. That reaction from Blaze's own son, it reveals the truth more clearly than anything else. Thanks to him, I am confident that my reasoning is correct. I know who that identified piece of evidence belongs to.
I wonder what's wrong with that prosecutor.
Usually, Sebastian is slower to arrive at the truth than anyone else. However, this time he has probably figured it out. His own father is a criminal.
Since he knows the truth, he's in pain, isn't he?
Oh, that's a pretty great fucking superpower too, Wada.
If he didn't know the truth, He could have remained blissful in his ignorance.
I'm finishing up in 2 minutes next. Just waiting for like a good place to finish that it's not like in the middle of a sentence.
Okay, we are here in order to pursue the truth. Doesn't matter what path my reasoning takes. The important thing is to arrive at the truth. Once before, when I lost faith in my reasoning, you said that to me and showed me the way. This time, I shall show you the truth. You are innocent.
Yeah, I know, Mario, but I gotta go. Like, I really hate this. I really, really want to finish it today, but I gotta go to sleep, man. So I really feel bad about this. I really want to finish this, but I've already been in cases where I thought I almost finished it, and then it took like 45 minutes, and it got me in trouble. So I'm just like going safely for now.
This time, I shall show you the truth. You are innocent.
I also want to know the truth. Mr. Edgeworth, please tell me.
Yes, that's the spirit.
That's impossible, you know. For all of you. I mean, just where could I possibly have a burn mark? It's nowhere to be found, you see. There's no evidence to prove that I'm the culprit, you know.
That's right. There's no contradiction at all. There's no way there can be a contradiction. Not for my pops.
Objection! Sebastian, I understand why you don't want to admit it. However, if you avert your eyes from the truth, you will regret it forever.
Pops, what should I do?
I really wonder why you're such an idiot, you know?
Okay, this feels like the change in music feels to me like this is going to be a new like phase in the scene. So I think that I'm going to leave here. I also don't want to take too much away from Nex's time, who is about to stream on SafeCityHeroes.com. He's about to stream Bloodborne, Blind Run. So that should be exciting. Everyone should stick around for that. I know I will. And thank you everybody so much for watching. I had a great time today. I love this case, I love this game, and I hope you guys enjoyed it at least as much as I did. I'll be back not tomorrow, since tomorrow I'm watching the Wada. Tomorrow I'm watching the new Star Wars, so I'll be sure to give you guys my onions. No spoilers please until then. So I'll see you guys on Tuesday for sure. Doing it blindfolded, exactly. Oh, I thought you were poking out your eyes and then playing it. Oh, well. I guess a blindfold is also, it's fine, I guess. So, yeah. So, I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Until then, same time as today, you can check the schedule to see what time is it locally for you. There's a North American and there's an American, really, and a European version. And you can also feel free, if you haven't already, to follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and Steam to get notifications whenever I start so you don't miss it. And you can also follow me on Twitch and YouTube to watch my past broadcasts of this game and, oh, there's two. What's it called? What, the new Star Wars? The Last Jedi. So, yeah, I'm gonna save here. That's it for now. Thank you everybody so much for watching. Going for the shekel audience? What do you mean? Why wouldn't it be called The Last Jedi? Anyway. That's it for now. Thank you, everybody. Stick around for next stream, and I'll see you around. Take care. Have a great week, everybody, and Marco.